So now that we have a better understanding of angle relationships, we're going to go ahead and apply our knowledge and find unknown angles. So for example, I am going to say, you know what, if this angle right here is 45 degrees, okay, what is this unknown angle right here? Now, the first thing I want to do is, okay, you know what, I got to think, what type of angle is this? So I'm going to go ahead and look at my chart here, and I'm going to look for something that is like alternating. It looks like it's alternating, it's on opposite sides, and it's exterior. So it's alternating and it's exterior. So we are going to call that alternating exterior angle, this yellow area. See that? Alternating exterior angle. So the first thing you want to do, and you want to make sure you write this down, is you have to identify the relationship of these angles before you can solve. So the relationship is alternating or alternate exterior angle. And if I am able to identify it, then I can tell, okay, well, is it equal, or is it equal to, if it's equal, or if it is equal to 180 degrees. So look at my chart, alternate exterior angles are equal. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I write that. It is equal, or we actually say congruent. So if I want to solve for this, I can say, well, if these two are exactly the same, because it says it's equal, then we can solve for that. We can say, you know what, x is equal to 45 degrees. So that means that this angle right here is actually also 45 degrees. Let's go ahead and take another example so that we have different examples to identify. So you always, number one, identify the relationship. Number two, is it congruent or is it supplementary, meaning it's going to be equal to 180, and then solve. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out this example here. And let's do another example. So I'm going to draw two parallel lines, and sometimes parallel lines will have these little arrows here that kind of tells you that it's parallel. And let me go ahead and cut it with a transversal, like so. So sometimes you might see something that looks like this on it, and if you see this, it just means that it is parallel. Okay, that's just a notation on the graph. All right, so another example is, let's say, you know what if this angle, not drawn to scale, so don't try to get a protractor and calculator, we're just do an example. So let's say if I call this angle 110 degrees, what is this unknown angle? So first we identify what the relationship is. And the relationship is, so let's check. So these two angles are interior and they are opposite side. So interior, opposite sides. So that's alternating interior angles. Alternate interior angles are also considered congruent. So relationship is, number one, we can label as alternate or alternate interior angle. And we know that alternate interior angles are considered congruent, or you know that the angles are equal. So when we solve for it, we can say, well, 110, this has to be also 110. So x is equal to 110 degrees. All right, we're going to go ahead and try another one. Now, how about, you know what, I'm going to erase this and draw it differently, just so that you have a different example, because they always are not going to look the same, but the idea is that they are very similar. So what if I had something that looks like this? Now here's my two parallel lines. Okay, and it's going to be cut by a transversal going this way. Make sure it's the same color. All right. Okay, it changed color on me. All right, that's okay. So these are two parallel lines. So let's say this is my parallel lines. Okay, and it's cut by this transversal. So if I know that this angle is 80 degrees, what is this unknown angle right here? So let's take a look. Here's the transversal. I can label that transversal. So here's my transversal. And the two angles look like it's living inside, interior of the two parallel lines. So that I can look here, okay, interior, all right? As either, if it's interior, there's only two options. Either it's the same side or alternate. Notice here that it's on the same side of the transversal. So this will be same side interior, just like this green example here. So it says that if a same side interior is equal to 180 degrees. So the relationship for this one is, number one, we know that is same side interior. And we know that when it's same side interior, we know that it is equal to 180 degrees. So we can say it's equal to 180 degrees, not equal to each other. It's not the same angle. You can look at their angles right here. They look like different sizes. Okay, so now we're going to solve for that. We're going to take x, we're going to add 80 to it, and when you add it together, it has to be equal to 180 degrees. So when I solve for this, I'm going to subtract 80 to both sides. I get x is equal to 100 degrees. So your answer for this x right here, this right here is actually considered 100 degrees. And eventually you can fill out all of the missing angles.